Well, some of the best half and half I've ever had was at Chick-fil-A.
I'm a busy man.
Chick-fil-A has the best lemonade and sweet tea.
I don't have any
change.
I bang with it. You get a half and half from there?
Yeah, dude. Anytime I'm getting a meal from Chick-fil-A, this day I have to do the half and half.
Mm-hmm.
But what I used to do when I would live down in Virginia, when Chick-fil-A was like so prevalent, there's Chick-fil-A's up here, but it's like only one, and it gets jam packed. The other one's on the Morgan State campus, and nobody goes nowhere. Yeah. But it's like I used to get the gallons of lemonade and the gallons of sweet tea. It's just like $10 a pop.
It's worth it.
I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, but like my lemonade, I do Newman's Own. I love Newman's Own lemonade. It's the best lemonade to me, and we do the sweet tea with tea bags, and I actually do the sweet tea bit, which is hilarious. My mom makes the sweet tea. There's always sweet tea in the fridge. Guess what she has drank? I think once in her entire life, sweet tea. But she's a good mom. She knows that everybody else likes the sweet tea. So what does she do? Provide the damn sweet tea.
That's a good one right there. All right. Well, welcome back to All Sorts of Sports. 3, 2, 1. I did it backwards, but whatever. I did it backwards.
I don't know how I'm going to cut that up. That was
the Lord's Day. You can do whatever you want.
There's no
break.
Don't cut it up.
Well, I'm saying where I'm going to put the intro music.
Well, put it like after I said 3, 2, 1, and then we'll come back to this point. And I'm like, hey guys, I fucked up. But we're back. Episode 33. I got that right?
The Sammy Ball episode.
No, the Scottie Pippen episode. I'm kind of he is tired. Have you seen him recently?
Scottie Pippen?
He's pissed off that everybody just keeps talking about Larsa.
He's also he's always had that same face.
No, did you like
TMZ he has a tired face.
Yeah, he looks like
he got that long ass face, and he always get the squint thing.
Y'all need to watch the interview that TMZ did with him when he was leaving the restaurant. He just looked. He's like, they was like, "Hey, Scotty, where's Larsa? She cheating on you again with Future?" And he's like, "Are you guys done?"
For the record, every time they get brought up, I just gotta say it. Fuck TMZ.
I'm with you. I just saw it on Twitter, and they were like,
although that is where we get like most of our celebrity news.
Hold on, that's not to get around the fact that they're not usually accurate, but fuck TMZ.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're usually spot on.
We can go back to your Sammy Ball.
TMZ is also I think they are at least 6 to 8% responsible for Donald Trump's presidency.
I don't know, but
that's probably giving them too much credit.
Look in the lead up to the election back in 2016 and how many interviews he did, and that motherfucker, the lead guy at TMZ, going to Trump Tower and giving the interviews and everything. After Trump got elected, apparently he has been living a full life of regret, and he's pissed off that Trump actually got elected, even though it was his friend, Harvey.
Oh yeah,
I don't like anybody named Harvey. Pretty
just
much.
saying, it's those things. It's the same way that I could say that, like Vince Staples says, Ray J is the most culturally significant figure in the history of hip hop, in the history of the world, possibly.
Much respect, Ray J. Like for it. Hey.
It's 6 degrees of separation. I mean, come on,
no problems.
You don't have the Kardashians. You don't have Kanye. You don't have any of this without Ray J.
I was looking back at the previous episode, and you teased something to us, Kadeem, saying that you were going to have like something special, like maybe like a guest or something.
I didn't say that I didn't say that I was going to have something special. I said that the show might have something special.
What was it? Since it didn't happen.
No, it wasn't saying that it was going to happen this episode or anything. I'm just saying.
Oh, eventually. Okay. So I got to wait for it. It's a teaser.
It's patience.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
All right. So I want to go back to what you said. How you called this the Sammy Ball episode.
Yes.
and I laughed at that internally when I heard it. But you say he's the greatest of all time, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm gonna use that as a transition to someone who I consider the greatest of all time in a different sport. Today, Lewis Hamilton won his 7th title, and he tied Michael Schumacher,
who's my favorite driver of all time. But
mine's is Lewis.
No, I love Lewis though. I absolutely love Lewis. But there's forever a part of me, especially knowing that Schumacher's still pretty fucked up from his accident.
Yeah, it's weird how they have that hidden.
He's done a phenomenal job.
Yeah, well, his family has.
No, you start realizing it's almost it's Chadwick Boseman like in the sense of your inner circle not doing anything but following your request. That's fucking rare
for a long ass time too.
Yeah,
and TMZ,
like a long time.
Not doing interviews with TMZ.
Yeah. Yeah. So today he won at the Turkish Grand Prix. The track was ridiculous. It was raining and nobody had grip really. So I think Lewis started in sixth place and he came back to win. Bottas finished in like 14th or whatever. And then on the last lap, Vettel passed Charles Leclerc to take the 3rd spot. And then Sergio Perez came in 2nd. But yeah, I think Lewis is the greatest of all time.
Schumacher did win 5 straight, and I think this is Lewis's 4th straight. So
don't think so. This might be his 5th.
No, this is
you're right.
4th straight.
Yeah,
but like still, next year he can if he wins.
And Lewis should have won it in 2007. He lost in the pit lane.
I mean, if he wins 5 straight and breaks
gets 8
Schumacher's record, yeah. I mean,
part of me thought like when they were doing the post race interviews, I thought Lewis was gonna say like, yeah, I tied Schumacher and I'm done, because this year he has been talking about sustainability in F1, and he's been very outspoken in regards to Black Lives Matter and all the humanitarian issues that are going around the world. But when he started the interview, he was like, yeah, I feel like I'm just getting started, which is weird to say. And when I heard that, I'm like, okay, he's going to keep going.
I don't know if he's 35 years old. Like, that's the thing that I think a lot of people, like, Lewis Hamilton makes me feel old in the sense that, like, back when I was really into motorsports, like, early 2000s, when I was watching like every NASCAR race, my favorite NASCAR driver was Smoke, Tony Stewart. And the thing that I always thought the reason that Tony Stewart was the best driver was that he wasn't limited to just the NASCAR stock car. He could race those Formula cars. He could do, you put him behind the wheel of anything, he could do it. And when you hear him talk about all the different motorsports across the world and like drivers that he respected, and there was this upshot kid, Lewis Hamilton, who was just a few years older than me, out there ripping it up on the track. It was he was this phenom. He was this young black phenom. Mm-hmm. So to think that he's accomplished everything that he's accomplished, but he's only 35. And this is not, it's not football. It's not basketball where 35 you're looked upon as the old guy who's not going to be able to do it anymore. He could keep driving. There are drivers that can last in their 50s, 60s. You can keep going. As long as your hand-eye coordination is where it needs to be, go. Like, you usually see that most drivers start bailing out once they might even have other health problems or they're not winning and they can't get the backing of a team. Lewis is not showing any signs of letting up. So unless it is something along those lines where he wants to bring more awareness to something or whatever, I go back to even when we look at like the NBA players in the bubble, what's your best platform? If I'm looking at him from an international standpoint, not here in the States only, his best platform, I guess, for the world to see what he cares about is to continue to race and to continue to be on those interviews because he's getting shown across the world. Like, there's hardly a platform that's going to be better than the one that he has currently, especially being that he's so different than what it is that the average driver looks like. It's not I think back to when Barack Obama did The Shop, with Maverick Carter and LeBron, and they were breaking down why it is that they continued to play in the bubble. And Barack was telling them, like, look, but you have to demand this, you have to do this, you have to do that. I don't know if Lewis is going to be able to demand anything as far as actual change.
No. He already started.
Well, what is he doing?
All right, so there was talk about the race in Brazil to move to a new sector. I forgot where it was going to go to. I think it's in Rio now. But if it's not in Rio now, they were going to move it to Rio, and they were going to build a new track. But they had to cut down a bunch of trees. And he was like, "No, this is stupid. We already have a good race here." And they were already like almost close to an agreement at that point in time. And now like that's done. It's not happening.
Oh, well, that's the thing. It's like
they signed a new 3-year deal. So like something like that is already that. And then you had him you remember when Formula One fucked up early in the year in regards to the way that they were gonna like protest, like how some people were like kneeling like during the anthem, and he like blew up, like was just pissed off at everybody. And then he had a talk with like one of the head people there, and then they switched some shit up, and then they got on like the same page, like so stuff like that. Like he is finding his voice.
No, that's what I'm saying. He's finding his voice and he's fighting for certain causes, and I get it. But I think his main thing is bringing awareness. He's not going to be able to do, I don't think, what like the NBA players are doing, which is saying the owners need to fund the black community or need to put money in the black community.
I see what you're saying.
What Lewis can do is to bring awareness and change. Like if he's doing, like he goes beyond just the Black Lives Matter movement. If he's talking about like sustainability and being environmentally friendly, and in doing that when it comes to Formula One, like that is a huge thing. And you can see that because he's as good as he is, he can demand certain shit, and he's going to get it. So, I mean,
I just wonder how much of a toll, just speaking on longevity, how much of a toll driving in those conditions takes on your body. Because, man, sometimes I open a jar incorrectly and now I can't walk. Like, you know, like it's just part of getting old. Like if you're in that car, even if you're in great shape, you take a turn a little wrong, you tweak your back, those kind of injuries are rough, because those cars are not what I consider comfortable. I've sat in one. It's like,
no, they're not at all.
Sitting in, like, you know, those aluminum chairs that they have at like really shitty like AA baseball stadiums. That's what it feels like to me. Like no padding, but dude, he is extremely fun to watch, and it's like, to me it's like the soccer football thing. Soccer is, if you're a soccer star, you're an international star, whereas if you're a football star, you may not have the same presence, you know, internationally. Lewis Hamilton is an international star, so he's got a lot of opportunity, one, to continue his legacy, and two, to push all these different things that he thinks he can with his platform, and he can do it on an international scale. I think that's pretty cool. So shout out to Lewis for his 4th straight, hopefully 5th straight next year, so he can stop the. Also, Schumacher did get hurt, so like it's kind of a.
Yeah, but
who's the best? We're gonna have this. Oh well, if Schumacher didn't get hurt.
I mean, I think if Lewis goes for 8.
Yeah, I mean that's a ridiculous number.
Schumacher
or 10
comeback.
Schumacher comeback, and then they battle it out.
That would be nuts, because we have no idea.
For the next 20 years, they battle it out.
Yeah.
He could be coming back as like a cyborg or some shit. Like he'd just be the greatest of all time.
His son.
We can rebuild him.
We made him faster and
I think
stronger.
his son, like congratulated Lewis when he won the same amount of races as Michael Schumacher, like earlier this season. Yeah, but also, Kadeem, look into Formula E when you have a chance.
I'm familiar.
Okay.
I'd like to see that continue to take off. I was more, my foray into Formula E has been, I love what I'm hearing as far as from a technological standpoint and what it is they're doing and what it could mean as far as a more practical thing for us.
Formula E.
when it comes to electric cars and motors and batteries and stuff, because that kind of stuff excites me.
I think Rimac just bought Porsche just bought Rimac, by the way. I need to confirm.
I want to go test drive as soon as COVID's over, with no intention of purchasing one. I'm gonna go test drive that Hummer.
I want the Hummer.
They just did a electric Mustang, but that shit looks like an SUV.
Yeah, it's fucking
the
lame.
Mach-E.
I think it's terrible. Yeah. Also, in other news, I've been watching the Masters all week, and Maybach is releasing a SUV, which is not completely out of everybody's price point. I think it's like 140. Still very expensive, but it's not 500 or 600 or whatever the rest of them are. And they have full lay down seats in the back. Oh wow! Like it's just 2 bucket seats in the back. Oh, and it's got like a cooler.
Makes total sense because when you buy that damn car, you're living in it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but it's just that's
come out of fucking COVID economic crisis. I'm gonna buy a $140,000 SUV. I can lay down in it.
What do you? What else? You can live in that shit.
Is it?
It's got a fridge.
I mean, I was a Lyft driver. Y'all basically saw me live in my car.
Ryan, I haven't seen it. Is it?
It's a GLS. It's a GLS, I think.
But okay, so it's smaller than like the GL 450.
I mean, it looks like a big car, but it's not huge. It's just like their standard SUV. It's just got the back's a little longer because it's got those big bucket seats.
Okay, yeah. My dad was looking for a new car, so I'm gonna talk to him about it.
I hate Maybach, and you can't drive a Maybach. You get driven in a Maybach.
Yes.
You don't drive a Maybach.
It's like I used to say that about Bentley, and then Bentley came out with that the sports coupe.
Yeah.
Which obviously you have to drive because it's only got 2 seats, and you don't want to sit.
You can get those for cheap too.
Yeah.
What for cheap?
Like $30K.
Hold on, what for cheap?
I thought I saw you can get like a Bentley for like $30K.
I mean, it's probably
old and used.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but really old. Like it's
like 06.
Yeah, depending on if I see a Bentley for $30K, something's fucking wrong with it.
It's got severe. It took swimming lessons like in Louisiana. Or something.
So, I mean, Maybach has always been the luxury version of Mercedes. In Europe, Mercedes are just fucking taxi cabs. So it's basically the European version of a town car. So
Dude, Lincoln town cars, like circa 1980, maybe late 70s.
Square with the light.
Oh, yeah. Those town car stretch.
Yeah. Like they got,
So
I
good
just
with
found
the car phone.
2006. Bentley Continental GT for $32.
There's something wrong with it.
Yeah, it probably is.
Yeah, no warranty on it. You got to do everything by hand to fix it.
Yeah, you also for cars that expensive, and also BMWs because
they got one from a dealer that's 50.
That's probably
it was in a flood.
And then there's another one from another dealer for 40. So you can get it.
Yeah, but I'm still leasing any car that's worth more than $60,000 because you're not getting any equity in a car, and 2, if something breaks, that engine's $50,000. So I'm fucking. You missed me with that. I'll pay $1,500 a month to not have to worry about paying $50,000 in the future for something going terribly wrong.
You know who else has to worry about paying a lot of money?
Who?
The Houston Rockets.
Oh yeah,
with Westbrook. Because I think he actually just demanded a trade, according to.
Is it official?
Reports.
I mean, I guess it's kind of hard. Yeah, Woj.
Shams, I think. Shams.
It seems like a sham to me.
Nah, like he's trusted, but
I don't trust anybody but Woj.
That goes back to my point before, because after we potted, they were like, yeah, Westbrook and Harden realized they can't win together. So,
but who said that? I want to see them say it.
Like, they're not gonna say it. Like, did Westbrook and KD say they can't win together out in the public?
KD got a burner Twitter account. I'm pretty sure he said some shit. So
we don't I haven't seen it.
I mean, if he formally demands a trade, then I'll know it's true. And I think that there's better I don't know from a monetary standpoint in terms of like cap space and stuff, what teams they could go to, but there's definitely teams out there that could benefit and from them being on their team, and also they would be in a better position to win.
Yeah, so Westbrook signed a 5-year, $206 million contract with the Thunder.
How many M's?
206.
He could definitely get himself.
So his average salary is like 41
to play with Westbrook? Who in the league wants to play with Westbrook?
Well, you know one team that would probably jump at the chance?
Who?
The New York Knicks. Because they're the Knicks.
See, that's my point. Is that when you're talking about Russell Westbrook,
who wants to play for the Knicks?
No, hold on. You got to break it down into two things. Is that Russ wants to demand a trade, right? Anywhere that he's going to go, if you're going to be a winner, you got to have superstars basically on your team already, right? Which superstar is going to say that they're okay with you bringing Russ in? So now you start looking at the other markets where you don't have a star or you have guys that are too young.
Miami.
I don't see Miami won that.
Why?
He changes the entire dynamic of the team.
What do you mean?
James Dolan is the Adam Gase of.
Oh, and I was wrong
NBA
last week.
Owners.
It's 171 over 4 seasons, not 3. So that was my mistake. But Westbrook, Miami doesn't really have a ball handle if they get rid of Dragic.
The way that Miami moved that ball around, the amount of passes that they had on each offensive possession.
It was like high school basketball. It was awesome.
If we want to play Russ ball where he takes the ball up court and then takes a terrible shot, it throws off the entire way.
I don't think he would do that in Miami, though.
He would.
He did it in Oklahoma.
That's
he
how
did it
he's
in Houston.
Who was with him in Oklahoma?
Even when he had KD, Paul George, and all of them, he still did it.
You see this bullshit?
But like. Yeah, I saw it. I wanted to let you like live a little bit, but go ahead.
Is that a shit stain on your?
No, he spilled.
Is that a McCafe?
It's it's from ESP. Shout out ESP in Old Town Alexandria.
They don't pay us.
Best cup of coffee I've ever had. No, but he worked for 10 years making this blend, this ice blend. Ooh, it's good.
They still don't pay us.
It's chocolatey. I don't care. I asked him if I could buy just like the beans so I could make it at home, and he was like, "I can't do that because I spent a lot of time making that so that you come and spend $4."
Have him play our podcast in the shop, and then we'll plug them all day.
I mean, I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna do me like Carson Wentz.
And if you're watching Mr. Kool-Aid Man,
he's just busting. I am listening.
Motherfucker, you paying a deductible on this goddamn.
But yeah, he's got to go somewhere where either one he fits in, and like I said, it's going to be hard pressed to find a place. Maybe Minnesota, but I don't think they have cap space. Like James Dolan would shell out that money with no regard to how it would affect the team.
Because you have like a star.
That might be the place.
Star in the garden, exactly.
That's the only thing I can think of, unless a team like the Clippers or another contending team is like, oh, he would slot in really well.
The Clippers don't really have a point guard either.
I don't really see. I don't really see where else he would go except for the Knicks.
I actually think the Clippers is probably the best fit right now. At looking at it, I don't know if they can afford it. But Ballmer doesn't care about luxury taxes.
Do you think
Microsoft money, doesn't he?
Do you think the NBA would allow that since they've been vetoing trades?
Didn't they? No, that was a Chris Paul trade.
Yeah, Chris Paul. Yeah.
Why?
That was like 20 years ago, though.
Wait, hold on. Why would you look? It's known if Russ goes on your team, you're not winning a championship, so it just creates parity.
Yeah, and also like
what?
They kind of got rid of that when LeBron started building his superstar teams. That idea is gone. And also, that wasn't Silver, was it?
Nah, I think it's David Stern.
So Adam Silver doesn't give a shit about you building a superstar team. So it's not going to get vetoed.
Well, yeah, I mean, if they got multiple superstar teams and stuff like that, people watch. What were we saying, Kadeen?
Keep them out on the West.
I said that. Well, what I was saying is pretty much irrelevant in the sense that it's not like Russ is a proven champion. So it's not like you could say that if he goes anywhere, you're going to automatically win a championship. I don't even know if you put Russ
Chris
on
Paul
that.
wasn't either at the time.
But here's the thing. I don't know if you put Russ on that Clippers team, you actually make it better.
Yeah, me neither.
Right? So, like, it's one of those things where I don't know. What I really think is going to be one of those teams that needs somebody to put people in the seats and potentially get you on a playoff run here or there. So you're talking about the Knicks, Sacramento, where else we think about?
Well, no, you can't put him with Sacramento. You can't put him with Sacramento.
Why?
Aaron Fox.
Fair. What about Minnesota with Cat?
T-Wolves.
Russell's on the Nets right now? No.
Yeah, no, he went to
Golden State, right? But then they traded him to Minnesota for Wiggins, right?
Yeah, Wait, where's Wiggins? I thought
Wiggins is Golden State.
Wiggins in the Golden State.
Oh.
And didn't they trade D'Angelo Russell for Wiggins?
It might have been.
Yeah, but Russell plays for the Wolves.
Yeah. So?
Yeah, but
what's the point in that?
Russell doesn't have.
But Russell the 2. So who cares? It doesn't matter.
Russell Westbrook at the 2?
Maybe.
Are you talking about D'Angelo Russell?
Either or.
Russell Westbrook can't play the 2.
The motherfucker better try to learn to do something different. I mean, he's been
at this point in his career.
At this point in his career, he's got to realize something. He's either going to go somewhere and get paid and not win a championship, or he's going to go somewhere and he's got to change the way he plays basketball and potentially wins a championship.
Right. Now, let me ask you a question. Now, if you're going to change the way you play, you're going to do that for a good team. The Wolves are not a good team.
Well, here's the other thing. He's got to choose whether or not he's even able to. Well, no. I take that. If you put him – if Karl Anthony Towns actually has a decent cast around him, they're not a contender?
No. They're not getting out of the West.
I'm saying that at least in the
so what's a decent cast? Like, from what they have now, who would need to be added for them? Because the Wolves have to give something up to get Westbrook.
The biggest thing is giving Karl Anthony Towns some heart. That'd probably be the best, the biggest of all things that you can give
with the offseason he had, like, I'm not gonna say
I'm not doing I'm not talking about anything personal. I'm saying him on the court, that dog mentality is not in him, and it needs to be for as big as he is, the position.
And Westbrook will bring that, but at the same time, like, all right, you got Westbrook and Cat. Who else?
So what? He's not winning it in Houston?
Yeah, and he wouldn't win it in Minnesota either.
So that's but my point is that he's not going to get that far in Houston with those two guys, with Harden and Westbrook playing, right?
Agreed.
Do you give them a better shot? Do you give Westbrook and Cat a better shot than Westbrook and Harden, knowing what you've already seen from Westbrook and Harden? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I disagree.
No.
Just swap Cash and Jarrett Culver for
yeah, that would work. That would work so well. All right.
Or Naz Reid. I forgot he still played basketball.
So, all right. Now we're going to switch sports. Ryan, Kadeen, you don't really know too much about this. But I'm talking about soccer now. I read an article today discussing the possibility of Neymar being Messi's replacement. Right? And they've been talking about that shit for years, so I don't really care about that. There was a tidbit in the article that they tried to throw under the radar that really pissed me off.
Go on.
So, you remember when Neymar paid his $222 million buyout to go to PSG, right? You spilled it again, didn't you?
Yeah, it's like leaking. I'm not even tripping.
Yeah,
going into the washing machine immediately.
Ryan had a stroke this morning.
Ryan,
I'm listening.
You remember when Neymar paid his $222 million buyout to go to PSG, right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember who he signed that year from getting the funds?
Griezmann? Sancho?
Nope. Dembele.
Okay. Ooh.
Do you remember they said that we could have gotten Mbappe from Monaco that same year for $100 million. But two people in the Barca organization preferred Dembele.
Who are those two people?
They said the names, but they're not worth mentioning right now because I'm pissed off. We could have had Mbappe.
I mean, here's the
less
thing,
than Dembele.
Here's the thing. And I think you can kind of see this with teams that Neymar and Mbappe are on now and who the teams that they were on before. They are individually superstars, but they're not superstars on the level of a Messi or a Ronaldo. In that, if you put them together with a good team or other superstars, they don't work. They're not good at. I mean, how many national? I mean, he's got a national championship.
He won the World Cup.
But how many? I mean, how many European Cups does any of his teams have?
Like Mbappe plays for France. They're gonna contend.
No, I meant European Cups. Like
the Champions League.
Champions League, yeah.
Well, we've discussed this before. Who are the defenders for France?
Right, but dude, even we saw when PSG played.
Nah, France got some good defenders.
PSG played somebody
really
recently,
defenders.
and it was just like they had so much talent that they couldn't score. It was like such good football until they got to the final third. And this was recently. This was like a couple weeks ago. They just don't. Yeah, they just don't. I don't know. I understand they're both really young. Neymar and Mbappe are still very, very young in terms of.
Well, Mbappe's like a little bit younger than Neymar.
Yeah, but they're still in their mid-20s. Like their progression, it's there's still much to be seen. But I think that to talk about a straight swap or a replacement for a Ronaldo or a Messi is almost impossible.
Oh yeah,
because Messi is proven. You can't replace a proven player. It'd be like replacing Sammy Ball. You can't. He's a proven.
I love the fact that we do these callbacks. It's amazing. I want to continue this shit forever.
Messi does it all. Like Messi.
Yeah, but Messi and Ronaldo are different in itself.
Right. But what I'm saying is when people are like, oh, this is going to be the slot-in replacement for, this absolute superstar with not an absolute superstar.
No, you're talking about Messi and Neymar. Like that, I think is bullshit too. I agree with you. But like I think Mbappe can replace Ronaldo.
I think they have similar skill sets. I just Mbappe. I think Mbappe is a better player than Neymar, but that's my personal opinion.
Agreed.
Honestly, with the way your system works, and I feel like this should be the way with a lot of different teams, you guys have some superstar like 19-year-olds that are just kind of sitting on the bench. Who's that kid that y'all the 19-year-old, 20-year-old?
Ansu Fati?
Yeah.
He plays.
But why don't you why wouldn't he be the replacement? Why would you splash super cash?
Because you can't be a replacement if you're already in the team.
No, but you bring in another person to maybe cover the midfield.
It should have been it should have been Mbappe. We need a number 9. That would have been perfect.
Well, here's the thing.
But we fucked up.
He's still 25 years old, so you could still get him when Messi retires in 2 years.
I don't think Mbappe is that old.
I thought isn't he 24?
He's 21.
I feel like he's been playing.
He's 21. Yeah, but he's 21.
Well, I mean, you guys got a lot of
I think
money
Neymar's 25
and a lot of opportunity going forward.
Neymar's only 25.
Yeah. And he's already played in 2 World Cups? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Jesus.
No, Neymar's 28. My bad. 28.
You have a. Oh yeah, he got injured real bad during the last one. I forgot. That was bad.
Yeah, because the dude need him in the back. That was tough. He broke his back.
But you guys got a lot of opportunity moving forward, especially when you're not carrying Messi's contract anymore. I actually think that'll be a benefit to you guys. You bring in.
Well, we got to pay him $33 million when he leaves.
He earned it.
Oh yeah, for sure. He needs to have a statue. I'm not even debating that.
I think you guys will find that.
Go ahead, try.
Unless you're Arsenal, you'll be in much better shape with a solid defense and very good attacking options for less money.
Go ahead, Kadeem. Try.
Ryan was talking. What am I debating again?
Oh, okay.
the cost analysis and the benefits of the slave trade in the European soccer market.
Well, with COVID,
that should actually be a book.
With COVID, cotton costs have completely skyrocketed. People are not going out to shops and buying things off the shelves the same way they used to.
I'm gonna have to buy a new fucking sweater.
What I'm saying is that, like, in the cotton trades, what you end up having is most people like to go in the store to try things on because they don't like the entire return policy process. Okay, so
now they have free returns. So.
Well, you get free returns, but still, at the end of the day, you have to go and risk going out and catching COVID for some clothes. Doesn't necessarily make all the world of sense. So I'd say right now, when it comes to slaves in the European market, you need to make sure you are selling right now. Or hold on to what you have, all right? The market's going to bounce back. It's going to come back. Well, the vaccine looks promising, okay? So just hold on to your slaves, and you'll be all good. You'll be all good. Just weather the storm. Weather the storm, people. Weather the storm.
Dude, speaking of returning clothes.
That shit just makes me angry.
Speaking of returning clothes.
COVID's a bitch.
I started it, though.
Bitch.
I started it.
You know what I'm talking about.
It was my fault. Have you guys tried any of those, like M-Tailor or any of the, where you measure yourself with the camera and then they send you clothes?
I did one.
I haven't tried it yet, but I can't buy shirts.
I forgot the name. No, Charles Thurwitt, or Thurwitt, however you say his name.
Mm-hmm.
That company has some good shirts, like for real.
Okay.
It ships from England.
Interesting.
So I got a bunch of shirts from them. It's really good quality.
I'll give it a shot.
For real.
I just it's you can't go out to get a shirt tailored right now, so gotta find something.
Well, in the Walmart app, they have a little camera thing you hit, and then you put it around and you do like this. There's a guy named Billy Bob on the other end of the line that says, "You look like a XXL," and they just ship you shit.
I heard that at malls, whenever that reopens in like 2023, there's gonna be like these little stations, and you just walk in and it scans you and it shows you like which stores have stuff that will fit you. Who is this white man?
No.
What in the Joseph A. Bank of
CT shirts? Okay.
Yeah, it's a good. They're not paying us either, but I buy the shirts, so whatever.
I'll check them out.
I
realized the other day I was going through my shirts and I was like, this is usually about when I start buying shirts and suits for next year.
And they actually have some good deals too.
I love a deal. Oh, I love a deal.
God damn it.
No, Kadeen. I know where you're going. No, we're gonna move on to something that you'll be more interested in. All right. So reports came out today that the Saints could be fined heavily for like not wearing masks during their post-game celebration after their win. Now I've asked Kadeen. This is my second time asking him. What are your thoughts on the shit that happened to the Raiders? And also, what do you think should happen to the Saints? Your time to shine. Go ahead.
My time to shine. It's not a fun topic.
It's 11 in the morning. Nobody's shining right now. Glowing, maybe.
I should listen to some gospel.
For gospel on a Sunday is. Oof.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get lunch for the football game, so I'm probably play gospel on my way.
I gotta get an oil change, and I'm sad.
The Raiders deserved more penalties for what it is they did compared to anybody else I've seen in the league. Like, all right, the Justin Turner situation, that's his name, right? Justin Turner. When it came to the Dodgers, where you had somebody that he knew he tested positive for COVID, but in the moment of a celebration, he ran back out on the field and didn't give a shit because of the moment of celebration. It was a World Series. Like, it's huge, right? If we're talking about the Saints, from what I can understand, it's just a fine for the fact that they were excited that they won the game and they weren't wearing the mask. I do believe they deserve to be punished and fined there for it, but it's not going to be anywhere near on the level of the Raiders, who organized multiple events where people were not doing things that they needed to when it comes to masks. At least one event. Raiders are Raiders players.
Okay.
Organized.
You got to make that, like, they put that in the article saying like to justify why the Raiders organization was fine, but that didn't make sense because Waller's organization is not the same.
Do you think that anybody in the front office knew what Darren Waller was doing?
I don't know.
Shit rolls uphill, dude.
They absolutely did.
Yeah, they did, but they didn't know that it was like they probably didn't know all the particulars. But
if you didn't have somebody that says, "Hey, Darren, COVID's a thing. You're putting together this thing. Is it necessarily a good idea that you're doing it because we want to make sure the team stays safe?" If nobody did that, which it seems like they didn't, because culturally in that organization, you have all right. You can stop with the alleged shit. You're not the lawyer right now, okay?
It is what it is.
You said I could riff. Let me riff.
Don't spew bullshit. Like, stick to the facts that you have.
If they didn't have somebody doing that, then
it's on them.
The team is equally culpable.
Nobody's saying they're not.
With this allegedly or seen shit.
It is what it is.
I know, and I'm explaining what it is. So if they're doing all of that, if you have a coach that won't wear the goddamn mask, if you have everybody showing from all walks of life across the organization,
if you have them taking their tracking stuff off,
right? Then at the end of the day, like that so far is.
And he's out again too.
As far as we've seen across any major sport, when it comes to COVID, the most egregious of all of them have been the Las Vegas Raiders.
All right, guys, guess what? Today, when the Raiders play,
I doubt that
we will have one starting offensive lineman. Everyone else is out.
Well, did you see what happened with the Bills? Our buddy Josh.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Tested positive.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about that.
He tested positive. So now we don't have any of our secondary.
No, it was 3 people, right?
Yeah, Josh Norman, Tre'Davious White. Like, we're going to be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, but at least you have your offensive line, who's the more important.
Yeah, we can throw the ball and hopefully score. The team that scores the most points.
Well, I can just say as a Washington football team fan, we suck. We ain't got nobody on COVID.
That's true. Wait, who does the whip?
You have the best pass defense in the league, though, statistically.
Yeah, Chase Young's a stud. Who does the whiff play again today?
Detroit.
The whiff plays. Yep.
Ooh.
So that brings me to the final topic I have. Changes of pick, fellas. Do you have any? Let's go through them all again.
Yeah.
We have the Colts versus the Titans. We all picked the Titans. Is anybody changing? No, wait. That game already happened. And
we all lost.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I want to change that.
Fuck. The
it
Texans
wasn't even close.
Browns.
They beat the shit out of them.
That was an ass whipping.
It was. The Texans Browns. Ryan, you picked the Texans. Do you want to change? All right, Kadeen, you want to change?
I have the Browns, right? So, no, I'm sticking with it.
All right.
Houston looks bad.
Eagles, Giants. You both picked the Eagles. I picked the Giants.
That I literally flip a fucking coin.
Yeah. Who's the least worst?
With Lions, I picked the Lions. Y'all both picked the Whiff. I know you're not changing. Jags, Packers. We all picked the Packers. You change your mind? Okay. Bucks, Panthers. Y'all picked the Bucks. I picked the Panthers.
Sticking with that.
Oh, shit. McCaffrey's out. I'm going to go to the Bucks.
Smart man.
All right. Chargers, Dolphins. We all picked the Chargers. Anybody changing?
No, but I like the Dolphins a lot in that game.
Yeah. Although they have a lot of injured running backs.
Yep.
So we'll see.
Tua's going to have a couple of these games where he just does more than he's got. Like, I want to see Tua show some flashes. I like Tua.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
All right, Bills, Cardinals. Kadan, you picked the Cardinals. You want to stick with that one?
Yeah, especially after figuring out what happened with the Buffalo secondary.
Yeah.
I'm sticking with them.
Bengals, Steelers. Ryan, you picked the Bengals. You sure?
This is going to ride that Joe Burrow train off a goddamn cliff.
Yeah. Hey, the Steelers are the worst 8-0 team in the history of sports, so I'm sticking with my call.
I don't think so, but all right. 49ers, Saints. We all picked the Saints. We're all sticking with it?
Yeah.
Okay. Seahawks, Rams. Ryan, you picked the Rams. Are you sure?
I like that pick. How many more games is there? Because that might be my switch.
3 more.
All right, let's go. Let's keep it there for now. Okay.
All right. Broncos, Raiders. Y'all both picked the Broncos. Sucks we don't have any offensive linemen, but we're still going to win. Ravens, Patriots. Dean, you picked the Patriots. You sure?
Yeah, that's the one I'm switching.
Okay.
Look, I legitimately give you a reason why New England could win this game, though.
Okay, go ahead. Try.
All right.
Try to convince yourself.
Baltimore, Lamar Jackson says after the game last week that the defenses have been calling out what it is they're going to play on offense, right? So if you have that, the best defensive mastermind you have is Bill Belichick. I can see a situation where Baltimore gets too cute for their own good and tries to do more gadget and trick plays when it comes to Lamar so that the defense can't be called out, and it won't work out in their favor. So I'm just saying, there could be, but that also being said, the worst front seven in all of football is New England, and it's not even close. Like, they have nobody, all right? So Lamar should beat the fucking brakes off these dudes. But I'm just saying, I don't think it's completely outside the realm of possibility.
Bill
Being Bill, and I think Baltimore, because of what Lamar said last week, are going to be trying to do something a little different this week, and it might not work in their favor because it usually takes a little while to get something like that going.
Oh my!
All right, so what do you want to do?
I'm just going to Baltimore.
Okay. All right, and then the final game.
Although I like the Rams pick, Ryan, I like the Rams pick.
I feel pretty.
Seahawks gonna wax that ass.
I feel pretty strongly about it.
Seahawks gonna wax that ass. All right, Vikings, Bears. That's the final game.
This is another one I think I fucked up.
Pick the Vikings.
Yeah, no, we're keeping it at Vikings.
All right, I picked the Bears.
Who did I pick? The Bears, right?
No.
I picked the Vikings?
Yep.
Okay.
The Bears are – I love the Bears, but they do suck.
They suck a lot. Jesus.
All right, well.
Fucking table vibrator over there.
My phone.
Really, you have the vibration – like, you have the phone vibration of a deaf person. Like, somebody is – you –
My phone was on the computer. That's why it sounds so bad. And my microphone's right next to it.
You ever seen the alarm clock for deaf people? I almost bought one. Like, it's legit. What it is it's like two giant pad things that you put between your mattress and box spring.
Oh, and it vibrates.
And it's like it fucking like rumbles your bed.
Dude, I have my watch turned up to max, and so when my alarm goes off, it basically shakes my wrist almost off of my body. It's so good. Can't oversleep with that shit.
I set my alarm to the chagrin of my girlfriend. I set my alarm like if I'm waking up at 9, which is what I did this morning. I set 2-minute intervals from 9 until 11:30 on my phone. Oh. All of that, and it requires me to wake up to turn them all off. And by the time I'm done turning all of them off, I'm up.
Yeah, I have
do it with 5 minutes.
I have this, and then I have a one of those really obnoxious old school beeping ones with like the foghorn on it. So if I don't wake up from my watch and my phone, like 3 minutes later, the foghorn goes off, and I'm like, oh God, what is going on? So air raids, and once I get to that one, I'm up.
Yeah.
Because it's shockingly loud.
My alarms go off starting at 5:55.
Why?
I always wake up before 6 every day.
Good for you.
What time do you start work?
I do that.
8.
Do you like
Science
go work
says
out?
Science says
I do a bunch of stuff in the morning.
Science says you should wake up 2 hours before you're supposed to be at work.
Yeah, I try to do earlier, but right now since I'm not working, I guess.
Oh yeah, you're living the dream, dude.
Whatever. I'm living the dream.
You don't sleep.
I'm living the dream. I'm living the dream.
The unemployed.
Scrolling on every the $158 a week, you cocksucker. The waking up every day, going on Twitter to see whether or not Congress gets their hat out of their own collective asses and passes more goddamn stimulus relief because I can't work.
I think that's coming this week, though.
Yeah, it's gonna be some bullshit skinny package, and I gotta.
No, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be skinny for states money going to the states. But I think everybody's gonna get another.
They better do the $600. They better do the stimulus and the $600 unemployment back pay.
Yeah,
I'm with that.
I'm with that. All right, final thoughts.
Needs a new iPad. No, I'm joking.
My final thought would be Terrence Crawford is a fucking scary human being. Did you see that knockout last night?
I did.
Ooh.
I would counter that and say that
Gervonta Davis, yeah.
No, did you watch any of the UFC last night?
No.
There is a young man by the name of, literally his name is Chaos Williams. He has had 2 fights in the UFC at the, I believe, light heavyweight. Both fights have not made it past 30 seconds. He has a right hand of stone, and he knocked out a very large man in 1 hit to the middle of his face. And he was out before he hit the ground. Like, it was incredible. I would recommend everybody take a look at this kid because
I kind of knew it was spelled with a K.
Yeah, Chaos, Chaos. And his name is like the Ox. What is it? Chaos?
So his real name is Chaos.
Yes. And
yeah, ASOS.
His parents raised him to kill people.
It looks like it. Dana White walked up to him after the knockout and said, "That's the most vicious knockout I've ever seen." And he wasn't really wrong. This was he's got hands of stone. Watch out for this kid. He's going to be good. Also, the Masters is on. Tiger did not have a great couple rounds. He got himself out of contention, so he's going to lose his jacket. But it's been very entertaining.
He's going to lose his jacket?
You know, it feels like a really good golf watching day.
No.
Like the weather and everything, it just feels like a good golf watching day.
I played golf yesterday. It was awesome. I haven't played golf in a while. And they don't make you pair up with people because of COVID. I fucking hate pairing up with people. It was a good time. But anyway, we got a bunch of good sports, bunch of good NFL on today. Go Bills. Go Whiffed. I'd like an Alex Smith comeback story.
Mo 3?
Huh?
Is his name Mo 3 or
just
Mo?
And rest in peace, Mo. And they shot at Boosie. Motherfuckers. Same thing. They just opened fire on Boosie, who is really good friends with Mo. So stop shooting people.
Yeah. All right.
Texas is different. You need a timer, Kadeem?
Yeah, if you want to.
Oh, you can do it this time.
Just riff.
Have fun.
I've been here on my soapbox screaming at the masses or the 2 people that watch our shit for months now that COVID was going to hit with a fucking sledgehammer of vengeance, and it's doing it. The numbers right now, like it's outpacing what I thought was possible.
184,000 yesterday.
And that's just confirmed cases. So when you hear that confirmed cases bit, what I want you to do is ask yourselves, have you been tested? Have the people around you even been tested? If you have been tested, when's the last time you got tested? How often have you gotten tested? And then realize the majority of people are not getting tested out here. Majority of people do not get tested. Usually you're showing symptoms or you know that you've come into contact with somebody that has already tested positive. And that's the only reason you're getting a test. So the confirmed cases number that they talk about is only but a small fraction of the amount of people that actually are walking around here with COVID right now. And when you see things like the Proud Boys and all these MAGA hat motherfuckers come to Washington, D.C. from all different corners of the country, and it completely shirk against being responsible people wearing masks. Like, you can say whatever you want to about Black Lives Matter and the rest of those Antifa, whatever protesters. For the most part, they wore their fucking masks. So when you got these guys coming out here spreading this COVID shit, it's becoming a very, 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 very scary time. I would tell everybody, if you plan on doing anything with your family as far as Thanksgiving, shut the fuck down now. And I would say if you're going to do it, keep it very, very small. And realize that the Thanksgiving thing is the last thing you're going to do. Christmas is not going to be the same this year. Thanksgiving shouldn't even be the same for you this year.
I want to start a petition to make Zoom Pro free for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day so that people who have the technology available can spend it with their families, even though remotely.
And with that.
That would be an absolutely amazing thing. But
Change.org petition.
Look,
inbound.
we have to do what we need to do to protect ourselves from COVID.
Yeah,
because right now, the current administration, you have a guy in there who slow drives past all these micro penis having Proud Boys to go to the golf course in Arlington when he's not doing anything as far as the pandemic anymore. He's on Twitter more talking about how he won the election and how they're trying to steal it from him, and yet won't do anything as far as COVID.
I mean, I think people just got to realize at this point, it's on you. It's on you to do the right stuff. And I think this is basically true. If you do the right stuff, if you're safe, you're much more likely not to get it. I mean, I've been out and about and getting tested weekly. Still nothing. Also, Northern Virginia is doing a very good job.
Also, Virginia's going back to phase 1.
Yeah.
So,
which is smart. I know there's a lot of selfish people who want to get together with 50 of their nearest and dearest for Thanksgiving. I get it. But I'm doing Thanksgiving with me and my dad. So it's who's in my household. And it sucks. I'd much rather it be, me, my dad, my cousins, my brother, etc. But it's just not going to work out this year. So everybody just be safe, be smart, and stay away from people who aren't being safe or smart.
Also,
anybody who's super proud.
Please go to Vote Save America /Georgia or Vote Save America /Boot Mitch. We need to do what we can to donate and make sure that Raphael Warnock and John Ossoff get elected to the Senate in Georgia so we can actually get people with power and we can give President-elect Biden, the actual power he needs to get the changes implemented that we need and to make sure that we have
4 more years of nothing.
Mitch, the fucking turtle-looking bitch, blocking everything that we try to get done. And I'm done.
Amen.
Ready.
Was there something else, K-Dot? Something about a star in the sky?
Well, there's Lucy in the sky with diamonds, but
yeah.
No, fuck that bitch. It's the Death Star go boom.